Om. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir me Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishvache Bhavaroginam Udhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gurudhateti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Amritam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Sadashiva-samadambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Sakshat Kritam Dayanandam Paramartha-swarupinam Tattva-jnana-prashastadam Natosmi param padam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamaस्तमाvidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Purina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita-mrita-varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva-manusandadhabi Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshini Namostute Mukam karoti vachalam Tum Langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Paramanandamathvam Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः
योनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः
शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुम्
शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुम्
शरीरविमोक्षणात्
प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात्
कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगम्
कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगम्
सयुक्तः स सुखी नरः
सयुक्तः स सुखी नरः
विमोक्षणात् शरीरविमोक्षणात् प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात् यः कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगं सोढुं शक्नोति इह एव सः युक्तः सः सुखी नरः सः नरः सुखी सः युक्तः एव Kama, Krodha. All the way it is Kama and Krodha. Starting in the third chapter onwards. Yeshaha, Yesha, Yesha, Kama, Yeshaha, Krodha, Yeshaha. Jo Gunasa Bhavaha. The trouble-making factor is Kama. Kama is the cause for all the problems. But what Kama is? Kama which binds a person. That is the problem. Kama is because of avidya. Ultimately, it is avidya. Ultimately, the avidya, we don't stop at say Kama, but Kama alone. The removal of Kama alone cannot make a person, cannot give moksha, cannot make a person free from samsara. It is avidya. But avidya, for that, vidya, jnanam, shastram, pramanam, all this are required. But at least to be a sane person in the world, one has to hear Vegam, very important. The Vegam, the force. Kama and Krodha, their force, the force of them. Not just the Kama and Krodha, the force which are created by Kama and Krodha. As such, if it is there, not troubling, as long it doesn't trouble, but it won't be. It itself gathers strength and creates a force which pushes the person. That is why the third chapter, Arjuna has Takena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha Kena Prayuktaha. That is why Vegam here is used. You can see the connection. Atakena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha Anichannapi Vashneya Baladiva Niyojitaha. Bala is force. Here Vegam, force. The same. Even though not wishing, not wanting, as though something forcefully makes a person driven. What is that? Kama Krodha. What makes it the person drive? So, therefore, this force of the Kama and Krodha to be talked of. How to handle the force of this Kama and Krodha? First you cannot, when Kama and Krodha is there, the force is there, you cannot handle the Kama and Krodha. You have to handle the force. Force, Kama and Krodha is there, therefore force of them is there. So handle the force, then you can handle the Kama and Krodha. Because you are facing the impact of Kama and Krodha so tremendously. If you don't handle the force, it will carry away, then you will not be there to deal with Kama. So handle the force first. Handle the force of the Kama and Krodha. So if one can handle that, then if one later by managing raga dvesha, in fact, by managing raga dvesha only, one can overcome this, the vega of the common krodha. Later, further inquiry into the Vishaya and applying Viveka, one needs to uproot desire. That also uproot means cognitively one has to withdraw oneself from entertaining the desire. That is deliberate. One has to see the futility, one has to see the consequence of entertaining the desire. That implies Viveka. That's why Viveka. So Kama Krododbhavam Vekam, not carried over by the force of Kama, means talking about the Indriyas. Just from the previous class we saw Tasmatam Indriyani Ado Niyamya Bharata Rishabha. The Indriyani Ado Niyamya, that is Raga Kama Krododbhavam Vekam. So Indriyani Ado Niyamya Kama Krododbhavam Vekam. It means Raga Dvesha, what this person has for the Vishaya, Indriya Vishaya, by managing them is managing the Indriyas. By that, one can overcome the force of Kama and Krodha. Kama produces a Vega, a force. What is that force? That's called binding desires. The desires are binding, without which the person cannot live, then that becomes a Krodha. So therefore, neutralizing Raga Dvesha. That is why Karma Yoga. Neutralizing Raga Dvesha. That's why Karma Yoga is emphasized. Kama Krodho Bhavam Vegam. The Vega, the force of Kama and Krodha is handled by Karma Yoga. With the attitude that what is to be done, it is done. What is to be done should be done for the sake of the Lord, for pleasing the Lord. So that it is so that you you enjoy, or you so that you enjoy the tranquility, the space, so that you enjoy the space what we talk about, you and the Kama. Between you and the Kama, the space has to be created. The more and more space you have between you and the Kama, the more and more you are sane. Lesser the space, it's closer contact with the sense Vishayas, Indriya Vishaya. We're not talking about the physical distance, talking about the mental distance. Even when the objects are near, you are not bothered. You are not bothered about the objects, even though near. It doesn't cause any impact because you have more space, mental space. You have created more distance, or you have separated yourself from the Vishaya mentally. Therefore, there is no Vega. Doesn't cause any impact on you because you are a yogi, karma yogi. Your primary aim is doing karma for the sake of the Lord. So Bhagavan becomes important. That is how you bring Ishvara into life. Bringing more and more Ishvara into life means doing what is to be done at any point of time with the object of, with the intention of obeying the or following the order, in order to maintain the order, even the self order, self order meaning one has to be in certain shape, certain order. One has to conduct oneself in certain manner, the order, so that he doesn't become cause of problem for himself as well as others. So he has to self-discipline. That is a self-order. Self-discipline, it is not only for maintaining one's the maintaining or following certain things to discipline oneself. It is also done not to create disturbance to the surroundings, to the others. ultimately, ultimately, even though self-discipline is for is for gaining that is for gaining that is the shreyas. Shreyas meaning good. That is good, not pleasant. Any discipline involves certain effort, certain pain in the beginning. It is in the beginning. That is for the good, not for the pleasant. For the pleasant, you don't need discipline. Indiscipline goes after the pleasure. Discipline goes after the good. Shreyascha prayascha manushya metaha tau samparita vivinakti dhiraha. So the self-discipline takes a person towards shreyas. That is what we call it as adhikari. Therefore, here, the person who is self-disciplined, who can handle the kama and krodha, the force of kama and krodha, who can manage the impact of the kama and krodha. Impact of kama and krodha means not in gaining the vishayas of kama. One who can resist, one who can fight against also within code, because kama and krodha, the kama is as its adhishtanam in the mind. Therefore, mind is not your enemy. Mind has the inimical mind has to become a friendly mind. The conversion has to happen because it is you yourself. Therefore, you cannot look upon your mind as an enemy. Mind is not for whipping. It is not for whipping. It is a tool. It has to be made friendly. So, therefore, making the mind, teaching the mind, making it stronger, and doing karma yoga, and therefore neutralizing this raga dvesha, ending the raga dvesha by adopting karma yoga, doing karma yoga. When we say karma yoga, Bhagavan is Ishvara. There is no karma yoga without Ishvara. So that you acknowledge the Bhagavan. When there is acknowledgement of Bhagavan, so you do everything for his sake and accept whatever comes as prasada. Therefore, your karma is the force of the karma is reduced. That is acts like a dam. Reduces it blocks the force of karma, and it is when it is vented out slowly whenever it is required. Then you can lift the shutter of the dam and release the water little by little. The force is slowly, it is handled, managed. That's why this karma yoga is important. Ishvara is important. Accepting Ishvara, bringing Ishvara. That's how you do worship of Ishvara. This is really Ishvara Aradhana. So the one who can do that, Prakshari Vimokshana, that person, that Naraha is Sukhi. Really is Sukhi. One who is under the impact of karma is Dukhi, because is is dictated by the karma and the consequence of karma, anger, etc. Swamiji used to say, even when there is karma, there are karma which are so overwhelming, how to handle it? Right? One is karma yoga raga dvesha, of course. Then by prayer, upasana. Prayer meaning upasana. Upasana, prayer. Prayer is a very powerful tool. Prayer also, it is done only by the matured person. Prayer is the person does prayer means it means the person is a matured person. Maturity, it implies maturity. When you face problem, you do prayer. When you want something, you do prayer. So asking Bhagavan for something, you do prayer. Or when you are in pain, when you are in some dukkham, you do prayer. Asking for something to prayer, that is fine. You want something, therefore you do prayer. As for that, you do effort. Prayatna also is there, and prarthana also it is there. So both contributes for the success. That is fine. But when you are in pain, why do you choose to pray? When you are in problem or when you are in pain, physical pain or mental pain, whatever may be the pain, why do you choose to pray? Why don't you choose to manage the pain by some other means? Because other means are of no use. Having realized that, you resort to prayer. That is a sign of maturity. You know, nothing works other than surrender. So, therefore, in the prayer only, in prarthana only, a person really completely free. Person operates freely in prayer. So prayer is an expression of free will, complete expression of free will. So you are enjoy freedom in prayer. The person enjoys complete freedom in prayer. You resort to prayer means it shows that your free will in the highest form, it is manifested in prayer. So that's why prayer and prayerful attitude is talked about. So if you can appreciate Ishvara, if you appreciate Ishvara, who is the cause of everything, even for whatever you face, whatever you face in life as a consequence of what you have done, and you do prayer to nullify the, the consequences which are painful, which are not pleasant, then you become a bhakta. But karma yogi, he does prayer appreciating Ishvara. So he is a matured person. So therefore, the person who does prayer is a matured person, but karma yogi is a spiritual person, because a yogi also does prayers. A bhakta also does prayer, but yogi, rogi also does prayer. Rogi, bhakta, yogi. Yogi does prayer, and bhakta also falls under the category of yogi only. If a bhakta, if he asks anything other than Bhagavan, is not really a bhakta. Is also artharthi. A rogi does prayer. A artharthi also does prayer. A bhakta or a yogi, a karma yogi is a bhakta. The prayer, what he does, that is in the form of doing what Ishvara wishes. Ishvara wish is my wish. So for that person, what this karma can do, what the force of this karma and krodha can do, that person is yuktaha, karma yogi. So karma yogi is not touched by the force of kama and krodha. So you can handle the force of kama and krodha by becoming a karma yogi, or be a karma yogi and handle the force of kama and krodha. That is a teaching. That person is sukhi. That person is sukhi. So therefore, here itself, igaiva tairgita sargaha. So one need not go anywhere for being a happy person. Here itself is possible. Here itself, we can by here itself, staying here itself, we can be happy. We need not go to Swarga and all. Here itself, by handling the force of karma, we can be a happy person. So all that required is this attitude of karma yoga, this prayerful attitude, this the action with the prayerful attitude. See, the karma yoga means it's not just about doing, it's about the attitude. What attitude? Prayerful attitude. That is Ishwararapana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi. That attitude all the time. It is not Kada Chitta. It is all the time, 24/7. You cannot forget Bhagavan. cannot, because Bhagavan is not a separate entity to be forgotten. Is if Bhagavan becomes a burden to be remembered, then person is not a karma yogi. Bhagavan cannot be a burden. All the time he is remembered, even without his will. That person is a karma yogi. The moment he wakes up, morning, he remembers Bhagavan. He acknowledges the presence of Ishvara. The waking is because of Ishvara. And all the activities are done after, it's all because of Ishvara. So every action. That is why when morning we get up, we say, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Karamadhye Saraswati. It's a prayer. Karamureta Gauri Sya Prabhate Karadarshanam. Samudravasane Devi Parvatastana Mandale. Before keeping the foot on the ground, we chant prayer. That is Ishvara Darshan, Tadmatra Ishvara Darshanam. You acknowledge. For that, one need not be a jnani. It is enough to be a bhakta, a karma yogi. So, real bhakta is one who is a karma yogi. What is bhakti? That also is said beautifully by Shankaracharya in Viveka Sudhaman. What is bhakti? Swaswarupa Anusandhanam. Bhakti ityabhidhiyate. Swaswarupa Anusandhanam. That is bhakta. Jnanam and bhakti. Jnanam and bhakti are not different. But here we are talking about yoga, yogi and bhakti. Because prayer is there, therefore I use the word bhakta, bhakti, devotion. Therefore, the bhakti at the highest level is jnanam. Bhakti at the highest level is jnanam. There is no difference between bhakti and jnanam. Bhakti at the level of the yoga, bhakti yoga and karma yoga, there is no difference. It is same. So therefore, that person is Sukhi, that person is Naraha, who can handle Ragadvesha, by which the force of Kama and Krodha is Vega is handled, or Sodum, endure. Yaha, yes, Sahanam. Sodom is Sagdatu, Sahanam. Shaknoti, Yaha, Sodom Shaknoti. Iha Eva. Praksharya, not after death. They are not talking about after. Even moksha is neither moksha after death, nor the yoga after death, nor the living happily after death. It's all about here. While living, let us live happily. And after Maranam, we continue to be what we are. That is Atma. Atma doesn't have Maranam or Jananam. It is as it is. So it is happiness all the way. It is Swaswarupa Anusandhana. It is Swaswarupa Avasthiti here all the way. So therefore, there is no post-mortem work. It's all here and now. That is why Iha. So this an important shloka to be noted, often quoted. Then comes the next shloka. We will read 24th. I think from that we have to start. Let us read 24th shloka. Starting from this shloka, that is the starting from the shloka number 20. Starting from the shloka number 22. Starting from shloka number 22, Bhagavan is talking about the person who is a Sarva Karma Sannyasi. So the topic here, Sarva Karma Sannyasi, describes about the person, the wise person who is a Sarva Karma Sannyasi. So further he says, the next shloka number 24, we will read. Yontas Sukontara Ramaha.
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरा रामः
Antarjyotirev yah.
तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः
Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam.
स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
Bhutodhikachati.
ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति.
Antasukah, Antararamah, Antarjyotihi. So many antars are there. Antaha. Antaha means within. Antaha is within. What is this within? Antaha is within, that is from the standpoint of Namarupa. The content of Namarupa is Atma. From the standpoint of Namarupa only Antaha. Atma doesn't have Antaha or Bagi. It's Antaha, Antakaranam. Antakaranam means inner instrument. Inner of what? Inner of Atma? No. Antakaranam is one. Antaha, the word itself, inside, outside, Bagihi, from the standpoint of Namarupa. So Antaha Sukaha, that is Antastukaha for Yaha Antastukaha for one, for whom the happiness, the fulfillment is in himself, in Atma. Antaha Antastukaha. The happiness is Antaha from the standpoint of the Atma, from the standpoint of the Namarupa. The Sukha is inside. It means Atma. Sukha is in Atma oneself, Pratyekatma, which is Purnatma. So it is not outside. It is not situational happiness. Situation changes, therefore happiness also changes. No, not that happiness. Just antaha sukha. Therefore, the sukha is there all the time. It is not situational. It doesn't look for situations, it doesn't look for place, or doesn't look for time outside. Not bagihi. In that sense, it is antaha. Why here antaha is used? When you say bagihi, external means with reference to place, time, situations, and these are subject to change. Why it's subject to change? Because external, internal, that is with regard to this Sharira Manasangata, that is Namarupa. With reference to Namarupa, Deshakala, Vastu, or all these changes. Therefore, happiness associated with them changes. But what about Antaha? Wherever you go, Antaha also with you. That is Atma. Therefore, his happiness is inside. It means his happiness doesn't depend on any external situations. And what is the source of his happiness? Is himself. Is it something new what we are seeing here? No, we have seen that before. Yasvas paratireva syat. Atmatriptascha manavaha. Atmatriptaha. Atmaratihi. Atmani. Ratihi. Atmatriptaha. Atmani triptaha. Is satisfied in Atma. Another word is antasukha, referring to the person. Bhumri samasa. Antaha sukha yasya saha. His sukham is inside. For whom? Sukham is inside for whom? That person. Yaha saha antaha sukha antararamaha. Antaha aramaha. Antaha aramaha. He revels in himself. Antaha aramaha is arama. Arama is his place of relaxation. He is ever relaxed in himself. So for relaxation, one need not go to Juhu or Dhyani. His relaxation is with himself. He may be standing in the middle of the busy road, but Antararamaha is Antar Aramaha. He revels in himself. Aramate. Asamanta Ramante. Iti Aramaha Ramate. Ramate Yasmin iti. Aramaha. Yasmin Antaha. That Atma which is Antaha is himself. word antaha we use, as I tell, it is only from the standpoint of nama rupa. So antaha is himself. So antasukha is atma sukha. Atmani yat sukham vartate, tat sukham atma sukham. Again, this also the word came before atma sukha. Atmani yat sukham. Yat sukham vartate, tat sukham. Some shloka just went before atmani yat sukham. Sukham bindatyatmani. Just bindati atmani yat sukham. Bhagya sparsheshva sattatma. Vidyatyatmani itsukam itusukam vartate atmani tat vindati. This shloka number 21. That is antas, another word for that. Anta, it's a Bhagavad Samasa. The same thing only. Atmani itusukam vartate tat vindati. Atmasukaha antasukaha. Similarly, antaha aramaha. Antaha is atma. So atmani ramate. Atmani ramate iti aramaha, antararamaha. The word Ramaha we say, Utpatti, Yasmin ramate, in whom one revels. Adhikada Utpatti. Atmani yaha ramate saha, Atmani Yasmin ramante iti Ramaha. Here Ramanam, that here Ramanam, the reveling is Atma. So the person rebels in himself. He completely rebels in himself. So rebel in the sense of krida. Ramu, krida yam. The Tathartha is krida, play. It means he amuses himself. He is happy all the time with himself, but not like the mad person. He's happy with himself. He may look like mad, but he is not. How a yogi behaves, how a jnani behaves, nobody knows. Sometimes like a child, sometimes like a madman, sometimes like a beggar, sometimes without caring for anything, sometimes with the eyes open, eyes closed, is in deep samadhi, antararamaha. That is why these siddhas are not predictable, but they rebel in himself. Tata jyotihi, another word. Tata antarjyotihi. Tata antaha jyotihi eva yaha. Antarjyotihi. That is a jyoti. Yasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Natatra su bhati. Natatra suryo bhati. Nachandra tarakam. Then what is tasya bhasa? That atma bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. The light, not the physical light. This atma jyoti, because of which everything shines. And this person is aware of that. This atma, which is jyoti, therefore antarjyotihi. Antarjyotihi, na bhagir jyoti. Here is jyoti, is light. Antarjyotihi. That is means jyotihi means jnanam. Therefore, he has got jnanam, awareness of atma. People need jyoti, the light, to know an object. But this person who is aware of atma himself, he knows. He has got the jnanam of atma, awareness of atma. Therefore, antararamaha, ananda swarupaha, antarjyotihi. Antarjyotihi, atma jnanam being there, therefore is ananda swarupaha. So therefore, antarjyotihi is meaning this person is jnani. Jnani ityartha. Antarjyotihi means antaha jyotihi. Antaha in atmani, atma is a jyoti for whom? It means he recognizes that light, which is the light of all. Jyotisham jyotihi. Therefore, jnani ityartha. The jnani, who is awake to this atma, awake to this knowledge. Therefore, antarjyotihi. This is a yogi, is he jnani. Saha yogi, yogi. Saha yogi. Here, yogi is used in the sense Saha yogi, who is in the form of Brahma Bhutaha. Brahma Bhutaha, that is, his Atma is Brahma. Brahma Bhutaha Saha. Samyak Brahma Bhutaha Saha. Brahma Bhutaha means not Brahma Bhavati, remaining as Brahma. Discovering oneself to be that Brahma, which is Shastrena Pratipaditam Brahma. Shastraika Avagamanam. Shastraika Shastraihi Eva Avagantavyam. That Brahma Agamasmi iti Adhigachati. Adhigachati means attains Brahma. Attains Brahma becomes one with Brahma. Yeah, one with Brahma means not physically one. That physical, there is no, in fact, everything is Brahma. Even the everything is, when everything is Brahma, the physicality, the Nama Rupa is Mithya. Therefore, the oneness is an existing fact that he knows that. Agam Brahma Asmi. So it is not physically, in fact, all the physicality disappears. He sees so clearly that everything is Atma, Brahma. Upadhis are real only for the Ajnani. Therefore, we have to say that we not physical merging, because we have the wrong notion of physical merging, because there are other philosophies, other darshanas, Vishishta Dvaitam, etc. Dvaita darshanas are there. There, the physical union that is going, the physical means need not be physical. Samipyam, Sarupyam, there are different proximate talked about in Visishtadvaitam. Samipyam, Sarupyam, going near and having the form of the Bhagavan, that is Sarupyam. Here there is no such thing. Brahma Nirvanam Gacchati Adhigacchati means he knowing which Brahmaiva Brahmavita Brahmaiva Bhavati. Atmavita Shokam Tarati Brahmavita Brahmaiva Bhavati. When? Not after death, while living itself. Therefore, Jivan eva muktihi. Brahma Nirvanam Gacchati. Brahma Nirvana is Nirvanam. Oneness with Brahma. Oneness with Brahma. How this oneness is gained? As the space in the pot merges with the space in the outside the pot, so too here the merging. Is it really merging? Is it really merging? We say pot space. We say pot space, external space, as though space is divided by the pot. In fact, space cannot be divided. The division is only a notion. The division is only a notion. In the space encompasses even the pot. It is not the space in the pot moves with the pot. It is in the space the pot moves. So the drishti, the vision has to change. We say pot space, external space. When the pot moves, along with the pot, the space inside the pot also moves. That is one way of looking at it. But really, what is there is only space. Within the space, only the pot is. Space accommodates everything, including the pot. Pot exists in space. Apart from space, pot cannot exist. Therefore, it is one space all over. In that pot is. And pot, the wall is something which is created in the space, and space swallows that seeming division also. Therefore, there is no pot space or external space. It is only one space. When it is only one space, where is the merging? There is no physical merging. It is only understanding. It is Brahma Bhutaha. Brahma Bhutaha Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahma Nirvanam is Videka Mukti. Brahma Bhutaha is Jivan Mukti. Having gained a jnanam, having known this Aham Brahma Atma, Brahma Bhutaha, that is Jivan Mukti. Brahma Nirvanam, after the fall of the body, it becomes Videga Mukta. This Videga Mukta and done only from the standpoint of the onlookers. Brahmavitta Brahmaiva Bhavati, as I took this example, the, the space is never divided. Seeming division is the division is only a notional. It's a seeming division. So that is gone. That is gone for the person. That ajnanam is snapped. Therefore, Saha Yogi becomes Muktaha. So Nirvanam. Nirvanam means losing the oneness, losing the individuality. Brahma Nirvana. Individuality has gone. That all the individuality because of this Namarupa, the Namarupa, the Veda, that is gone. That is not there. Therefore, that Namarupa, that is this body, mind, sense, it is gone. When? That is after death, Maranantaram. So, Jivan Muktaha, Maranantaram continues to be Muktaha. So, Brahma Bhutaha, Brahma Nirvanam Gacchati. Jivan Muktaha San Videha Muktim Prapnoti Ityartaha. Jivan Muktaha San Videha Muktim Prapnoti. You have to use the word Prapnoti helplessly. It is not Prapnoti, it remains Bhavati. That is why Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. Where is living or dying? Living or dying is only for the body. It is for the Mithya Sharira. So living is Brahma. Living is Brahma means when the body sustains, the body lives. When the body survives, is Brahma. When the body falls, is Brahma. So arisal of the body or fall of the body doesn't create any dent in the jnanam of this person. He is Brahma. Brahma Bhutaha San. Brahma Bhutaha San. Brahma Nirvanam Adhigacchati. It is an expression, Brahma Nirvanam Adhigacchati. Adhigacchati means he gains, he attains. What is that to attain? Anyway, we use the word Videha Mukta. Jivan Muktaha, Videha Muktaha. Why Jivan? Because the person enjoys the Shariram, the Mithya Shariram, through which the Prarabdha operates. Therefore, Jivan Muktaha. And that Prarabdha also exhausts, goes away. Then becomes Brahma Nirvana. Becomes one with Brahma. That oneness is already Siddha. Saha Yogi. So therefore, Yaha Antasutaha, Antararamaha, Antaha Jyotihi. At Jyotihi is Jnanam. At that awareness, Jyotihi, Jyotisham Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, Atma Jnanam. Yaha Saha Yogi, Brahma Bhutaha, Jivan Muktaha San, Brahma Nirvanam, Videha Muktim Adhigacchati Praptoti Ityartaha. So Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. Simplified. Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. The next person. So all these are about this Savakarma Sannyasa. That is Jnani. Jnani Lakshanam. Shloka number 25. Labhante Brahma Nirvanam.
Labhante Brahma Nirvanam.
Yaha Kshina Kalmashaha.
Rishayah Kshena Kalmashaha.
Chinnadvaidha Yathatmanaha.
Chinnadvaidha Yathatmanaha.
Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha.
Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha.
This shloka we quote for the Sandhi. Rishayaha Kshina Kalmashaha. Rishayaha. Sarka should be pronounced. So this person, wise person, yogi, yogaha asya asti iti yogin, yogi, yogino, yoginaha. Here we are talking about the yogi meaning is a jnani. Sayogi means not a karma yogi. Because saha yogi, brahma bhutaha, brahma nirvana, adhigacchati. Therefore, jnani, wise person, Brahma Nirvanam Adhigacchati, he attains oneness with Brahma. As we saw, it is not a physical oneness, that is jnanam, cognitively becomes one. In understanding, there is only oneness. There is only one and oneness. The status of being one, ekatvam. And here the stages are mentioned here. Lavante Brahma Nirvanam, Rishayaha Kshina Kalmashaha, Chinnadvaida Yathatmanaha, Sarvabhuta Hiterataha. It's a beautiful shloka which presents the stages. Kshina Kalmashaha, Yathatmanaha, Sarvabhuta Hiterataha, Rishayaha, Chinnadvaidaha, Brahma Nirvanam, Labhante. And Labhante, that is the Kriya Padam, it is in the beginning. So, the Jnanis who have been described in the previous shloka, Rishis, they are the Rishi. Rishati Janati iti Rishi. All the Vaidika Acharyas are referred to by the word Rishayaha. And they gain Nirvanam, Moksha. How did they become Rishis, Rishayaha, Kshina Kalmashaha? Kshina Kalmashaha, whose impurities, Kalmasha, impurity, Mala. What are the impurities? Ragadvesha. Ragadveshas are the impurities. So, Ragadveshas, which are the impurities, which are Kshinam, Kshina Kalmasha, Kshina Kalmashaha. So, Ragadvesha, which are the impurities, they are destroyed. How? By leading a life of Karma Yoga. That is how they start. Starting with the life of Karma Yoga, starting with the life of contribution, that the attitude, the proper attitude, which causes Kalmasha to Kshina, which causes reduction of impurities, which causes removal of impurities. This Ragadvesha. Therefore, they are referred to by the word Kshina Kalmashaha. Kshina Kalmashaha is a Bhuri Samasa, referring to Kshinaha, Kshinani, Kalmasham, Kalmashani, or Kshinaha Kalmashaha, Yeshamte. So, for whom the Kalmashas, the impurities are destroyed. What are the impurities? That which causes obstacle to by spiritual pursuit, moksha, it is kalmasha, it is papam. So that is removed. When that is removed by karma yoga, then I can be referred to by the word Kshina Kalmashaha. Kshina Kalmashaha. The Kshina Kalmashaha means karma yogi ityartaha. That is how the life starts. They start this rishis started. That is how they who have become the rishis now, they started their life. So every future rishi will start with the life of karma yoga. So who are the yogis now? They are the future rishis. So rishi, I use the word rishi not this the Vaidika rishi. Rishi means someone who has jnana, jnani ityartaha. In fact, it is possible also to become a rishi. Vivekananda, there is a talk how to become a rishi. So they all, before becoming a rishi, they start the life, the spiritual pursuit with karma yoga. So Kshina Kalmashaha, referring to the people who have started the journey of the spiritual life with karma yoga. By karma yogena, the papams are neutralized. So Kshina Kalmashaha. So that is the first stage. That is the ladder of the spirituality, that is the first stage, Kshina Kalmashaha. Okay, then Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. That also can be taken as first anyway. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. Sarva Bhuta Hita. Hita is that which is beneficial, which is good. Sarva Bhuta, that hitam for all the Bhuta, engaged in the well-being of all, and they revel in that. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. In they revel in the well-being of all. It means they contribute for the well-being of all. Whether you contribute or not, at least not causing disturbance itself is a big thing. Therefore, ahimsa paramo dharmaha, kayena vacha manasa, by any of them, by body, mind, speech, refrain from hurting others and having empathy, feeling for others' pain. So that requires some sensitivity. That is possible only for a karma yogi. So, therefore, the life starts with ahimsa. The life, once ahimsa is there, all values will fall in place. Ahimsa is there, all values will come. When ahimsa is there, then naturally vairagyam, etc., all this will follow. Ahimsa, Shanti, Rajam, one of the important qualities, 20 spiritual values, ahimsa. That is why it is a paramo dharmaha, and that's why sannyasi takes the sannyasa vrata, that he would not be a threat, that he would not be a threat to anyone or any being in the world, ahimsa. So sarva bhuta hite rataha, interested in the welfare of all the beings. And they revel in that. They joyously, happily, they are committed to ahimsa. So it is either it can be taken as a first stage, or maybe you can take another second one to Kshina Kalmashaha anyway. Then the next stage is Yatatmanaha. Yatate iti yatihi. Yatatmanaha. Yatatmanaha means here Yata Atmanaha. What is Atma? Atma here it is to be noted as not as the Sachit Ananda Atma. Yatatmanaha means referring to the people who have mastered their body, mind, sense complex, who have got shamadhama, who have got complete mastery over their body, mind, and senses. So, therefore, having mastered the body, mind, senses, their complete focus is only on moksha. Therefore, purushartha nishchaya. They have decided their ultimate goal. The life goal is moksha. They decided the goal to be moksha, which is ultimate. Therefore, they operate the body and mind and senses in accordance with their goal. Therefore, mastery is there with regard to the indriya, karmendriyas, as well as jnanendriyas. Atmanaha, it is referring to as generally as here it is indriya, but we can take it as kaya as well as mind also. So, kayena manasa buddhya. All the three. Kaya, vak, buddhi. Yatatmanaha, who has got mastery over the mind, body, mind, senses. So such people, then the next one is Rishayaha. They become rishis. Rishati janati, that is samyak darshinaha bhavanti. Tattva darshinaha bhavanti. Tattvam drashtum shilam. Yasya. They become the seers of the tattvam. They become the seers of the tattvam, atma tattvam. And therefore they are Chinnadvaidaha. Another word, again, qualifying This jnani, chinna dvaidaha, dvaida, chinna dvaida, dvaida meaning the dvaida meaning division, veda, dvaida. So chinna dvaida, all doubts, vidyate hridaya grantihi, chidyante sarva samshayaha, that all the doubts have gone from whom? Chinnaha dvaidaha yasmat saha. Hridaya grantihi vidyate, chidyante sarva samshayaha. So all the samshayas, all the doubts are gone. It means they have done shravanam, mananam, and because of the mananam, all the doubts, whether aham, paramatma, ishvaraha, the doubt is not there. That's what chinna dvaidaha. Being free from doubts, being free from habitual errors. So therefore, they have done mananam as well as nididhyasanam. So such people, what they attain, such people, Brahma Nirvanam labhante. They get Brahma Nirvanam. When while living, they get Brahma. By Jnanam. So Brahma Nirvanam labhante Jivan eva. Marnantaram Videha Mukti. Brahma Nirvanam Adhigachati, which is said in the previous shloka. Brahma Bhutaha Brahma Nirvanam Adhigachati. So labhante Brahma Nirvanam, that is Jivan Mukti. After Maran Videha Mukti. So labhante Brahma Nirvanam. Here Brahma Nirvanam labhante is oneness with the Brahma they gain while living. They become Jivan Muktaha, Sata Prajnaha, Stira Prajnaha. So all these are the sadhanas, the means for gaining self-knowledge. The stages are given. Starting from Kshina Kalmashaha, Sarvabhuta Iterataha, Yatatmanaha, Chinna Dvaidaha, San, Brahma Nirvanam, Labante Rishayaha, Ete Rishayaha Bhavanti. Therefore, they become rishis. So, therefore, and here in order, the stage is given, different the stages, the sequences. So, therefore, starting the life with Karma Yoga, then following the values, then Acharya Upasadanam, then Shravanam, then Mananam, by which they become Kshina Kalmashaha, Chinnadvaidaha, Yatatmanaha, Sarvabhuta Yuterataha, then Rishayaha San, Brahma Nirvanam, Labante, they gain Brahma Nirvanam. They become one with Brahma. That become is within quote. Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. They become Jivan Muktaha and then Videha Muktaha. It's a very beautiful shloka. So Rishayaha Labante. Rishayaha Vishati Janati iti Rishi. So Rishayaha Labante. Not before Jnanam, but after Jnanam, they become Rishayaha. So with the end in mind, the word Rishayaha is used. So starting with Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi Raha Labante, we can say. But here Bhagavan Krishna, he says Rishayaha. It means not the rishis. Having become the rishi, they don't gain. Rishi is the end. They have become rishis. They become rishis. Having gained, they become rishis. That is how we have to take it. Rishayaha. Otherwise, this is misleading. Rishayaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante means. Or we can say Rishayaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante is Rishi means Janati. They know Atma Tattvam. They have done Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasam. Therefore, Brahma Nirvanam Labante. No problem. Rishayaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante. You can take like that. Stop here. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Smanvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Yayanti Yam Samagaha Yaravastitadadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha यस्यान्तं न विदुस्वरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.